Hey everybody, it's Kasha, and welcome back to the Beginner's Guide. Now, we were rather confused, or at least I was, in the first part of this game, because honestly I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going on, and it just didn't really make any sense at first. But now, my curiosity is piqued, and I want to know. So, I'm gonna find out. Alright, I'm seeing a lot of hallways, like a lot of rooms and repeating hallways like this one. So far, I actually really like the repeating hallway effect. It's interesting. It looks good. That looks good right there. That is a good looking hallway, and it's strangely eerie because you don't know right around one of these blocks if there's going to be something there. A doorway, something gonna pop out. Who knows? The possibilities of repeating hallways like that are endless. Maybe not endless. I like them. I'm a fan of the repeating hallway.
It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I'm not really seeing any kind of, I'm not really seeing much of anything, really. Maybe I just trapped... Oh!
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Oh!
We're going to see it a lot.
Alright. Alright. Go through the door, turn around. Had me going. It had me going for a second. One of those puzzles that makes you,
right. You
take a second look.
You solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
So there's more. Why? What is all this?
That? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
There's
I actually
so
find
much.
it funny that this game comes after the stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea.
Like, we spawned over there.
In the stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player.
Oh, wow.
So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I don't understand, but it's so cool. Oh, here we're back. Alright. You are now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Right now it's a little hard to understand. I will admit it is a little difficult to understand. But, you know, like you said, we're going to have to find out everything. The great and lovely descent. Whoa. Alright, that's a nice looking building, I won't lie.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Okay, gotcha.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making.
Ooh.
You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Yeah, there's a lot of linear, boxy stuff, but that's okay. I'm not exactly sure where I'm supposed to be going or what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'll make it work. Kind of feel like I'm gonna fall to my death at any moment. Looks like there's something down there. Something that I'm supposed to reach. Down there at the bottom. This is definitely kind of a... This is not what I expected to be beneath that nice looking building that I saw. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Man, I could have just jumped the entire time. That's a little irritating. Alright. So we have a spiral staircase. And... Ah. More awaits. Doesn't appear to be anything on either side. Can only imagine this is the way to go. This is kind of eerie. Okay, the music picked up a little bit. We appear to be... I'm a little concerned. Oh, God. Alright. Where am I going? Where are you taking me?
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
A full hour. That would be insane. Can you imagine if games operated on that?
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
That is actually a really, really good move on his part. That is a very good point. A game has to be playable, a game has to be accessible. All a game has to be those things is an empty room. He's right. This is getting me, like, this is starting to make me rethink games a little bit. That is, it's messing with me. In a good way, I suppose, but... Everything is just so weird and strange and lovely and what? Oh!
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Alright. There we go.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Please do, I'm very curious. It's an interesting puzzle, I will not lie. Lovely sky. There's all kinds of weird things happening. Wish I could give some better commentary. But really, I'm just trying to soak in what's actually happening. You there, did you come from above? What was up there?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
You there, did you come from up above? What was up there? World stamped with whiteness. There was an enormous prison I spent hours in. These floating colored blocks. Let's just try one. World stamped with whiteness. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? I did. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it. Someone left me in. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Let's just try pressing 2. You didn't solve it, so you have learned nothing. You cannot help us escape this prison. You are not the one I need. Surely there will be someone else. That was kind of eerie. Again? Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? No, I've been here the entire time. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? Not sure, but if you have any suspicion what you find will be worth what it takes to get there, you'll have another chance to solve it soon. What is this?
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
I'm glad he's kind of keeping me up to date as to what's going on and why and where and how. Otherwise, I would just be lost. If they threw you into this game without those narrations...
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
That's fair. Everybody wants a destination.
As well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
So what do I do now, though? Okay, we're just going to fade into the next one. Alright, alright. April 2009. We still have quite a ways to go. I think we go until 2011. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All the notes you see are left by other players. Alright, either way, I don't want this video going on for too long, so before we find out what actually awaits for us in this new level, this new game, I'm gonna go ahead and call that this video. So, if you liked, feel free to like, favorite, share, subscribe, and so on and so forth. And if you want to see more of the beginner's guide, I'll be coming out with some more of it. And if you want to see any of the other games that I've done, I've got those as well. And with all that being said, I'm Kasha, and so we go.